Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have another look at floor 40 of the Tower of Champions, this time with a free party. And main gimmicks here are gravity barriers and damage walls. The first character I'm using is Kushinada Zero. She has no gravity barrier and no block. There is one stage here with blocks, so it can come in handy there. One thing about Kushinada Zero, she is a demi-hume. And then the Fellmanes, the white lion guys, they have Demi-Hume Slayer, so Kushinada Zero will take damage from those guys. Next up I'm using Akala, and he's got both no gravity barrier and no damage wall, so he'll be one of my more mobile characters. He is a demon, and Babel Evolution has a Demon Slayer, but the Pre-Evolution and then the Ascension form do not, so he will not take extra damage there. Next up is the one Hatcher monster I'm using, and that is Uriel Transcendent, the Evolution form. And she has a Pierce with no damage wall, no gravity barrier, so also very mobile, and then she'll be good for getting out bump combos of my other guys, all of which are pretty good. And then she has a good bump combo herself, so yeah, lots of damage coming from bump combos with this team. And then finally I'm using Daikokuten, and they have null damage wall only. I'm using them mostly for their bump combo, which is the Chain Lightning that we see there. And yeah, that's really good because it can travel around and hit lots of guys. And then also, later, the boss will have a weak point in the center of the hitbox. And since the Chain Lightning hits in the center of the monster, it will get the multiplier, the weak point multiplier. Alright, and then as I explained before, the first stage, that is a typical zombie loop. Where the two dark magicians revive two guys a turn. The second stage here, this works like Akala's zombie loop, where if we take down one of the wizards, they will revive everybody that was taken down in a previous turn. And then the wizards will also revive each other every turn that they are still around. So we would like to take them down on the same turn. And it's easier to do that if we take down all of the little guys first. Okay, and then my Uriel does have a knockout Abelberry, so that will help me take a little bit less damage. But yes, Daikokuten does not have no gravity barrier, so their movement is going to be slowed down a little bit. And then throughout my play of this floor, I'm going to be stalling a lot. And then that's kind of a necessary technique to use when using a free party in the Tower of Champions. Just because the tower can be so difficult. And so to stall to either get hearts, or to charge up strike shots, or to better your position is a very important skill to have. And then I can do this because I'm doing a co-op. I can just wait for the 30 seconds to run out. Or I can do a perfectly vertical or perfectly horizontal shot. And yeah, that's a really good skill to practice and to have. So yeah, we do have a couple of hearts out. And then we will just keep on stalling. Alright, so we have two big hearts. I felt like this was good enough, so we'll pick those two up and then move on to the next stage. Okay, first mini-boss stage here is Babel Pre-Evolution. And again, this one does not have the Slayer, the Demon Slayer. And then we want to take down the real Babel, which is kind of the gold looking one. The one with the skull mark. If we take that down, will hit us with a one-hit KO attack So we definitely want to do as little damage as possible as we do damage to the real Babel. And I forget what it is. Every 2 turns or every 3 turns, damage walls will come out on all sides. And so on that turn, Kusanada 0 will be in a pinch. So if we can, we want to have it so that her turn does not come up when the damage walls are all out. Okay, so far so good. We are concentrating all of our attacks on the real Babel. Okay, but a lot of hit points as we can see. Okay, we'll pick up the heart, do a little bit of damage there. Alright, I see the gold heart up there, so I would like to maybe not take down Babel this turn. Get him as close to 0 as we can. Okay, so gold heart appears. We would ideally like to take down both Babel and then grab the heart. Not quite going to happen though. Alright, and then this should be able to take down the mini-boss here. Okay, very good. Okay, so here is the next mini-boss stage with Babel Evolution. And then he picks up the Demon Slayer. And there's a few ways that we can sort of, prevent damage to Akala. One is to take down the Dark Magician, which will lower the attack of everybody. And the other way is to keep Akala as far away from Babel as we can. Babel does have a lock-on one-way laser, which targets the closest of your teammates. So we definitely do not want that to go into Babel. Alright, so we take down the Dark Magician there, we lower Babel's attack. We stun it with Uriel's knockout Abelberry. And then Kusanada 0 does have a Deity Slayer. And then those bull guys that we saw earlier, they are deities. So that is the one case where Kusanada 0's Slayer will come into effect. Okay, so unfortunately, Akala was the closest character to Babel here. So he ate the lock-on one-way laser. Thankfully we had the power down, so we were not taken out. If it was a regular power Babel, that might have been the end of it. Okay, and on this stage, if we take down the boss, the wizards will not disappear. So we can take this time to stall, and I'm going to do that so that I can get the heart. But yeah, I think I've proven that most of the floors of the Tower of Champions are possible with free characters. But it's pretty dependent on impossible monsters. And then you also have to be pretty patient as you play, because there is a lot of stalling that I recommend be done. Okay, we're looking in pretty good shape. I am not going to take down the guy with Uriel here, because I want to start the stage with Kusanada 0, just to make sure that there are the least number of damage walls that she has to deal with. So we'll go ahead and take down the wizard with Daikokuten here. Okay, and here's the boss. Alright, 4 boss stages. They all function a little bit differently. Here, the two white guys in the corners have some damaging attacks, so I'm going to want to get rid of them first, especially the Felmain, since it does extra damage to Kushinada 0. Alright, so we'll take him out. And then starting from this stage, sometimes the boss of the Babel will have a little weak point in the center of it, and if we can get an attack into that weak point, that will do about 5 times the regular damage, rather than 3, which is typical for weak points. So yeah, there it is. So anytime that appears, we want to get attacks in there. And yeah, there I was able to get the flare into there. Alright, and then here I'm going to use a Kushinada Zero's strike shot, where she creates plasmas in between her and anyone else she hits. I didn't quite get the angle right, so I was only able to pick up Uriel, but it ended up doing some good damage anyway, so... Okay, so reviving and more attacks. Here we'll just go for bump combos. Okay, pretty good. Whoa! HP is very low. There we had the lock-on one-way laser again, but it hit 2 of my guys, so that's where the extra damage came from. Alright, thankfully we had the gold heart come out. It's one of the benefits of having 3 max lux on your team. Alright, I'm going to get rid of the Felmain so I don't take the extra damage again for Kushinada 0. And then I'm going to stall again, so that I can get that heart to gold. And then stalling with this team is made a little bit easier, since Daikokuten and Akala have short-range bump combos. So even if we hit them, the chance of taking down the other little guys is low. Okay, so we'll take down the guy there. I did not stall anymore. Like I said earlier, I like to begin every stage with Kushinada 0, but we just went ahead. Alright, here I was hoping to nudge Daikokuten closer to Babel in order to get the chain lightning into him, but wasn't quite close enough, so oh well. Okay, and then this stage functions like floor 37, where if we hit the little hands when they're in counterattack mode, they will do defense up on everybody. And if we hit the big hands, they will do defense down on everybody. If we're in a situation where we have to hit the little hands, we want to hit them first, so that everybody gets defense up. And then we want to hit a big hand, so that everybody ends up with the defense down, so we can do more damage. Alright, not much Kushinada can do here since she doesn't have the null damage wall, so we'll just squeeze in there. Alright, so we'll hit the little hand, try to hit the big hand, and then get some bump combos in. Yeah, we hit another little hand as well, so the end result was defense up. But all of the hit points of the hands are getting lower and lower, so we should be able to take them down eventually. Alright, our HP is looking low, but I am keeping my eye on that heart over on the left. Okay, decent damage from the bump combos there. And not much Kusinada can do here either. We're just going to play it safe and do an up and down attack, so we don't get into any of the damage walls. Alright, so here I had a decision to make. I can either try to go after that gold heart, or I can grab the little heart and then hope that Uriel will live to the next turn to grab the gold heart. Or I can use Akala's strike shot just to end the stage. I decided to go for the safe option and just use the strike shot here. Okay, so that will end that stage there. And then let's see if any of that damage carries over to the next stage. Not really. Alrighty, so third boss stage. This is probably the most straightforward one. There's no gimmicks or counterattacks or anything. Okay, so pretty good damage there from all of the bump combos together. And then really it's just about doing damage to the boss, so... Alright, Daikokuten is in pretty good position to get the chain lightning into the boss. And then I did make a video about kind of tips for chain lightning. If there is a shield or a drone or some other thing like a hand kind of overlapping with a boss's weak point, then the chain lightning will kind of carry over into the boss's weak point when it attacks that other thing. So that's a good way to do extra damage with the chain lightning. Okay, if I can, I am going to grab the heart and then also clear the stage. Alright, that was good. And yeah, there we got Daikokuten's chain lightning into the middle weak point of the boss. So that did much more damage than usual. And then that did carry over more from the last stage. Okay, final stage. And then here we see the hands again. The big hands, they will do defense up on everybody every turn. So we definitely want to get rid of them. And then the little hands will do healing on everybody every 2 turns. So we definitely want to get rid of them too. However, this Babel Ascension has a gravity attack. It's a 4 turn, the upper right. When that becomes 0, all of our guys' HP will go down to 4. So in preparation for that, we want to have some healing on the field. So I see a couple hearts up there. I will leave them there until that gravity attack comes out. And then also, if I take down one of the hands that has a skull mark on it, a healing wall will come out. The healing wall only lasts 1 turn, however, so we need to take down one or both of them the turn before. Alright, so this turn we will just try to take down that big hand. That worked out. And then this next turn, if we can, we want to take down that little hand with the skull mark on it. Okay, not quite able to do it, but we have the hearts there, so not as big of a deal. Okay, so there goes our HP down to 4. And then with Kusinada 0, we will pick up the hearts. Very good. Okay, get some good flare damage in there. Alright, so now it's just us and the boss. We will concentrate all of our damage. And again, we have the chain lightning go into the boss's central weak point to do some extra damage there. And then let's use Uriel Strike Shot. It is a command strike shot, but I also like to use it as a speed and power up, so we'll just do that there. And yes, Knockout is a terrific ableberry for Uriel, since with her strike shot she does get that speed up, and so gets more hits, and so has a greater chance of stunning a guy. Okay, and then we will finish with Daikokuten's missile strike shot, and that will be that. So yeah, that was pretty fun, I think. I really like all of these characters. And yeah, I still have to work on 37 through 39, so you can look forward to that. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.